Hey guys, Harry here, back again with another Bricklaying vlog. It's a bit of a longer one today. I've sort of thrown two videos into one. I've got a clip here, me doing a few garage stacker-bomb block pillars. This video, I'm just going to give you a few little tips on how you can build them quicker. As an apprentice, it used to take me all day to do these sort of pillars in a garage. And these are just a few little tips that makes it a lot easier, and it's really simple, to be honest. So first off, you can see I've got the magneton level 6 foot set up at the measurement where the pillars need to go. So I've got an F clamp at the top that you can just see at the top, clamped around the brickwork. I've got a block at the bottom, and it's just clamped level. As you can see, it's nice to use level because it shows you the bubble. And I've got the other ones on the other pillars set up with the aluminium profiles. Good thing to do is if it's 8 bricks from the pillar, if it's set at 8 bricks from the pillar, just look at your perp joints, set it to your perps all the way up, and then you're more or less level. As you can see, I start off putting first block on the floor. I like to have a little bit of damp under these pillars, so that makes them a little bit more slidey at the bottom. So put one block on, and I don't even bother putting level on the top of the block, because if your arris is touching, if your arris is all flush touching the level at one side, that means your block should be sitting pretty level. And then you can get your gauge by just looking at your brickwork joints on the inside of the garage and just following your brick joints, every 3 brick all the way up. And then, as you can see, I try not to tap the pillar excessively, because these block pillars tend to just sway about all over. And especially when in winter when it's wet, these can be a nightmare. So I recommend stiffer gobbo. As you can see, this gobbo is quite stiff, and it's middle of summer. It's been wet given, so as you can see, these blocks weren't bone dry, so they were a bit wetter. Also, when it comes to your tie wires, you're putting it back in your pillars. Ideally, you want to put your mesh, your expansion mesh or extra mesh or whatever you want to call it. Chicken wire, that's my favourite name for it. I like to put the chicken. Obviously, I didn't have any at the moment. It is a bit of a ball ache to cut, so it is easier sometimes to shove a couple of ties in, because if you do forget your expansion mesh, you can't shove it in. You've got to obviously, take your brick off and then put it on. So that's why I like to use the thin variant of the ties. Like the ones you put on your party walls. Party, I sounded American then. Anyway, because if you have the thicker housing ties, you put on your external walls. It can get awkward. You can get a little bit of lever action on the top on the block when you're trying to slide it in. But with the thin ones, I just lever the tie up a little bit, not too high. I don't bend them right up, because then you can't get them back down. So lever them up a little bit, just clear of your block, so you don't end up walling them, getting them behind block, and then you're on. A little bit of a perp joint each side of your block. I don't put too much gobbo on them. I don't like to be pressing the gobbo, squeezing it against the wall constantly. I don't want to be smashing it to the wall, because that's when your pillar starts to rock. It gets like that fucking squish and rock effect where it'll just rebound off the wall. So I like to fill the back of the joint as I go, that's touching the brickwork. And when I'm putting the block on, I try to just press it to the wall, press it nicely, and I don't sweat too much about plumbing it every block. I just every couple of blocks, and if it's leaning in, you want it leaning in ideally. So ideally, if your pillar's leaning in towards the brickwork, while still maintaining a decently 10mm joint at the back, by the time you get to the top, it's normally going to be trying to lean out, and it's normally, if it's leaning in at the bottom, by the time you get to the top, it'll be normally level. So I won't sweat about it leaning in. Don't whatever you do, don't pull your pillar off the wall to the level. If it's leaning in, it's leaning in. Just leave it. 5 or 10mm up the length of a pillar. No one's going to notice it in a garage. As long as all your arises are touching the level, there's no big gaps, they're not bellying all over. Just leave it. 10mm in length of a 6 foot level. No one's going to see it on a garage pillar. No one's going to put level up it, I can guarantee you that. But yeah, so that's a really easy way. As you can see, I've not sped this up. It took me about 5 minutes to build this seven block pillar. So yeah, normally like a full height one. If you could set these to full height like we used to do quite a number of years ago, we used to be able to use trestles, and some jobs still let you use trestles, but you know, it's nice having a scaffold, and it stops you having to take it up the full height in one go. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like to try to get 7 or 8 blocks on. I don't go higher than my brickwork. I just leave it backed up. As you can see, took the actual, I knocked the F clamp off by accident there. So I just took my 6 foot level. Another massive advantage of it, 6 foot level as well. Just nice reading, completely plumb. I haven't had to check it for level on the top because I was following my perp joints, or every block touching the level profile, easy. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a couple of days since I recorded the video. So today, obviously you saw me there with doing the block pillars. I'd finished the garage today. I finished it. I finished building an electric box in the morning, then finished the garage, and then I started building another boundary wall all in one day. So I did 3 different drops in one day, finishing off. So we even got rained on. So still had a really good day today, even though I was sort of doing all the finishing off bits where there's not much cream in it. It were alright. It were a decent day, really. It'd be nice. Like last week I'd only had a day and a half on this garage, and then I had a day and a half, and then on the third day, because I had to break off and do something else, on the third day I had to, we got rained off at dinner, so I had 2 days on that garage, and then we've had half a day today, so that's been 2.5 days for a garage, all finished, block pillars up. Basically matched me time from last video, but I used profiles in this video, and I went higher, so I went 2 course higher in this video, in this garage, and I used profiles. So, yeah, maybe that has been a speed increase. I had my dad with me for every day on this garage, which obviously sped me up considerably. So, I would say that the difference from using profiles to corner building is, negligible. Sorry, I could get that word out. I didn't get a C in English. The speed difference, for myself, depends if I'm having a decent day or not. If I'm just, some days, every bricklayer will know this, sometimes they're just flying down. Sometimes you're just pressing them down to the line, easy peasy. Other days, you're fucking struggling. It can make a difference on the mortar. I did make a video about that, and we had some rough mortar on a couple of occasions, which can make the day a lot harder. It can be the difference between laying 800 bricks and 1,000 bricks, or 600 bricks and 900 bricks. You know what I mean? You can have a big difference if the mortar's no good. So it's it is considerable. You know what I mean? So today's topic, apart from obviously having block pillar tips, first section of this video, not really. I don't really got a topic in mind because I haven't really thought out this video because I'm recording it on the day I finished this garage. On the day I, sort of just finishing everything off. So you'll see in this video, on the day I actually worked, I'll upload it for the day I actually worked. So, it's a bit more relevant. This is an older clip from the other week. We lost 2 days with rain last week. So that's something you've just got to account for. Bricklaying, you'll see videos of me smashing bricks in, or, laying, 600, 700, 800, 900 bricks in a day, and there'll be days where you don't lay anything. 2 days there, completely lost. Turned up on the Thursday, tried to get some gear to where I, what we're doing, and it started raining. Just called it a day, and then on the Friday didn't even get up. There's no point. So you go on today. Let's say the topic today is going to be, weather, how to call it. That's going to be today's topic, weather, how to handle bad weather days. For myself, I don't like to fight with the elements. I've got a gazebo. I've got like a little pop-up 3x3 metre gazebo. And to be quite honest, it's not even worth getting out all the time. Because for the fact of the matter is, it's only really useful if you could set it up the night before with all your gear under it. So ideally, if you're going to be using a gazebo, if you're that desperate, you need to be laying bricks, or, and I don't judge. I've been there, absolutely. Fucking, mortgages coming out, I've had all baby stuff to get, and, stuff like that. And, I just need to get a shift in, come what may. Everyone know, we'll have had times, especially when this COVID, at first, fucking hell, I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? With COVID sites shut, they were just kicking. I ran a wall, finish it, topping this wall off, and then they said, "Oh right, we're shutting site. You've got to leave." And I'm like, "You what?" You know what I mean? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And you know what I mean? So stuff like, you know, you'll never know when sites, you know, when this sort of another COVID situation could happen again. You never know when it's going to give you a week of snow or a week of rain. You need to put a bit away. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I could say for any bricklayer is, like, when it comes to weather, dealing with the bad weather days, put some in bank. Just put some away. Just forget about it. Put it in bank, forget about it. And when it comes to gazebos and stuff like that, you know, it's only useful, I cut my son off before, it's only useful if you set it up the night before. You want to basically get it tied down with a bit of old string line or something, get it tied down, you know, or get your bricks covered where you're going to set up for the following day. And if it's give a day of rain, get there early, set it up, and then get your gobbo, and even if you want to get a piss wet tub and then a stiffer tub, get 2 tubs there in the morning, even if it's ready mix, get it like piss, or well, if it's ready mix it don't matter, but if it's silo gobbo, get it like piss. In the, you know, first tub like piss, second tub stiff, get them both dropped on that gazebo before rain comes, and then have a pack of bricks under there, even a couple of packs. And then you can go from there. You can cover your gear, move the gazebo around where you're wanting to work. You know, you'll probably not get 500 bricks laid, depending on what work you're on. But if you're that hell-bent on getting the shift in, it can be done. It's doable. It's doable to, you know, avoid the bad weather like that. Obviously, if it is windy, your gazebo is going to break. So don't be setting up in that. I've not successfully used it. You know, I've not successfully laid more than 200 bricks with it. You know what I mean? I set it up for an afternoon once, laid a couple hundred bricks, built a little corner and laid a few hundred bricks to it. But that's about it. I've not used it successfully on a garage. I've just not dropped on one. Normally when bad weather comes, you know me on a shit drop. So, you know, I could see it being handy in footings, if you're in footings where a lot of the work isn't seen. If you're on the, you know, on your dumpy blocks, or if you're on your big massive mega block Celcons that you see a lot of people using now. If you're doing your fucking your work that's underground, the gazebo is definitely fucking. It's probably a must for all ground workers. You know what I mean? If you're a groundwork bricky, you only do footings. I'd get one. Set it up over a corner of an house. You know that you do it footing on. Build a big corner. Build your splash up. Cover it over with some damp or Hessian. Even get a couple of tarpaulins online. That's one of the good things. I did that years ago. I got a few tarpaulins just to cover my work up with. You know, it's doable. There is ways around it. You haven't got to let your head go. If you're really wanting to crack on and get something done, gazebo and tarpaulins, you can't go much, you know, and get some Hessian yourself. You can do it, but you've just got to know when to do it. You know, if it's siling down with driving rain, you're not going to get it done. But if you are, you know, if it's give drizzle all day on and off, and which you get a lot of the time in winter in the UK, and obviously you'll get that in every sort of country. I know, you know, us in the UK, we don't get nothing. We don't get rainy day pay, or we don't get any days off, days paid with rain. You know, it's either you're laying bricks or you're not. There's no unions or anything in the UK, so you know you've got to know when to use it. I'm going to try use it. I will be using it in winter, not as often as I'd think, but I'm going to start using it for certain situations, especially if it's good rain for, you know, from 10 o'clock onwards. I'll bring it in car and then I can get it set up. When it comes to when it comes to taking it around in the car, where if you're watching my videos and you're a bricklayer yourself, you'll probably have an estate car or a van, and you'll have plenty of gear anyway. What's putting in an extra 3 metre bit of kit, a 3 metre bit of kit, or 2 metre bit of length of little level, like a gazebo little pack in your car with your levels. It's now, to be honest, or with your profiles, it's just like carrying an extra couple of profiles around with you. So it is something to think about if weather is one of your main, if it does stress you out in winter like it does myself. If winter is something that gets you down as a bricklayer, which it does to everyone. It pisses everyone off, not just any bricklayer who says it don't piss them off, they're lying to you. But yeah, it's it's one of them things. It is doable. So yeah. Well, I've done my bad weather talk. Right. I've had a go with a big trowel, so that's another thing I wanted to talk about as well. As you can see here, I'm still using 10-inch pick and dip. I've had a go with the 11-inch, and to be quite honest, it feels ginormous. I'm going to get another go. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe a day after. Whenever I can get on a full day on a nice bit of boundary wall, I'm going to give it a go. There's something that I should have touched on in the silo mortar video and silo mortar video, is the weight of the mortar. A lot of the time, the reason why people advocates of the small trowels, not even pick and dippers, just traditional people lay traditional, is because of the weight of the mortar. And obviously I got the tub out stiff this morning because it give rain, and it didn't rain, so I started using the 11-inch, finishing off this electric box, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt horrible. It just felt, it felt heavy on me, in my hand. It felt heavy. I did feel a bit of strain when I was using it. The gobber was stiff, bear in mind. So I'm gonna leave a caveat for the last video about trowel size. There's a time and place to use the big trowels. I'm gonna give it another go. I've not give up. I don't give up that easily. I'm gonna give it another go when I'm next on the boundary wall, which could be tomorrow, could be the day after. Got another few day work jobs laid on my plate as usual. To be honest, on this site I get that much, broke off that many days. I don't know how I get it done, but I managed to get stuff done, and I managed to earn money. But if I did get left alone, I'd probably earn more. Anyway, when it comes to the big trowel, it's probably you ideally need your mortar to lay, like traditional laying mortar. So you need it quite wet, be able to do a long spread where you need like long spread style mortar. There's no good having it stiff for pick and dip. So this is why I've got to say that you probably want it wetter. If you're going to attempt pick and dip with an 11-inch, it is easier to pick the mortar up to get an exact brick's worth of mortar. It is a lot easier, but you need your mortar a bit wetter than you would with a smaller trowel. Because you're spreading for 2 bricks as well, it is going to go off a little bit. That second bit of mortar is going to hit the brick. Moisture's going to be sucked out of it a little bit more than just 1 brick at a time. So with a 2 brick pick and dip, I definitely think the mortar has to be wetter. Simulate it as if you're getting it as for a long spread. But obviously with the big trowel, you don't want that resistance of the stiff mortar. You want to be able to just scoop it off the board. You don't want to have to chop a slice of cake off for your mortar. And that's something definitely I've got to get used to. Obviously the trowels haven't been worn in, which is a massive it's a massive thing, especially with the bigger trowels. There's more surface area for you to wear in, and obviously with the new trowels, it has that square edge. The mortar don't slide off it as easy, so that's probably half of it. I'm gonna give it a go tomorrow, or the day after, whichever day I get on this wall. I'm gonna be using door profile again, so I set a little bit of a big pillar corner up today. It's about a 10 courser. So I'm gonna set the door frame up. So I'm just be running in. Hopefully, I've been in contact with Richard Fitzgerald, who makes the fixed brick. Obviously, really interested in getting one, and I'm about to buy one. And they contacted me saying that he wanted to talk about it, and he said he's gonna send me one for free. So I'm gonna give it a go. I was really, when I first saw it, I was sceptical, like anyone would be. Any bricklayer you talk to, you tell them about a new tool and they don't want to know. But I've looked into it with much more detail, and it looks a top piece of kit. I'm really excited for it to arrive, and I'm really excited to have a go with it. So I'm a bit relieved tomorrow that I might not be laying all day. So I've got plenty of opportunity to get this fixed brick on the go. I'll be doing a review of it when I get it. I'm going to talk to him and make sure I'm using it right as soon as I get it. So, you know, it's Richard who made it. He, he sounded like a really nice bloke I've phone, and he's a passionate bricklayer. Passionate about working, actually bricklaying on the job, even if he's been a foreman or a bricklayer himself. Who's laying it. He likes to be laying every day himself. So, respect to that. There's nothing worse than if you're working for someone and they never touch a trowel and you never see him on job. You're just hearing him over the phone. So it's nice to hear that he's still on job, still banging them down himself after 40 years. So something to be respected. You know what I mean? I respect anyone who's a bricklayer. It's an hard job, and it's not getting easier. There is little shortcuts like this fits brick, like profiles, like circular saws for cutting blocks. Little increases in innovation, but it's still primitive. It's still a primitive movement. We're still hitting hammers against chisels. We're still using a bit of steel, lifting more truck with a bit of steel, with a bit of flat steel. It's not come leaps and bounds in the last few hundred years. We're still doing the same thing basically. Levels may have got more sophisticated, magnetic levels, this and that, tool belts, trowel holders. It's just same as having a pocket. Pockets were invented fucking donkeys years ago. They've been around since the time of clothing. Pockets. That's all it is, a pocket for your trowel. So it's not the technology hasn't made your job any easier. You're still doing the same thing. So I respect anyone who's a bricklayer. It's fantastic that these tools are being made, and I can't wait to use it. To be honest, I've got some mega ideas for the fixed brick with what application I've seen it being used for. I can definitely see myself making some fixed brick tip videos, because to be honest, it is such a new tool. It's only been on the market last year or two, I think. I remember watching a video of Charlie Collinson's about a year ago on it. I don't know if it's been even around that long. So it's a very new bit of kit, and can't wait to use it. So I'll be giving a review on it, and I'll be giving some tips. Obviously myself as a more, corner building enthusiast, I do use my aluminium profiles, but there's no like building a corner. I like it, I just like building a corner. Like some days, especially when I'm solo, even today, I just set my son up, built a nice big tailed out 6 bricks, built a corner with a pillar. So especially on the days I'm solo and my old man ain't there, I'll set myself up. I'll tail out 10, 11 bricks. You know what I mean, with a level. Just because I can. It might be quicker to use a profile, but a lot of the time when you're working on your own, staying in one spot's the best. I mean, dead solo. If you've got your labourer with you, like my old man today, I didn't even joint apart from jointed face work of this garage, I didn't joint anything. He jointed it more or less everything. I built all them block pillars, he jointed them. By the time he jointed block pillars and cleaned out all the crap out at garage, I'd done a big pillar corner. So, yeah. So I can't wait to use this new tool when it arrives, and I'm making a video. So I thank you very much for watching. A bit of a longer one today. I'm glad of the nicer weather coming. So it's not give any more rain this week, I think. So fingers crossed we'll get a full week in. And I'll be recording some more footage on the next boundary wall. There's 2 more garage videos to come, and then that's all the footage I've got from this one. So that'll be another one in the bag. Some other gang finished my other garage that with the banding course on that I posted a few days ago. So Anyway, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.